It is very easy to imagine this is someone else's problem. These are all our children.
You can't raise a child in a vacuum. If you're struggling to keep a roof over your head and food on the table, it's really hard to think about developmental milestones.
Every little thing that parents and preschool teachers and teachers do with kids has a huge impact on their life later on.
Right from the start has been a group of passionate people who really believe that coming together, reducing the silos among the many, many groups of people that care about young children will make a difference in the future.
At base, it is a collaborative effort. It's a multi-stakeholder, multi-organizational, including some unaffiliated individuals who are all advocates for early childhood, who believe strongly in the importance of investing in early childhood, and who have raised centrally to that work compared to other initiatives around the state. They really put centrally this notion of inequities and the importance of building a system that works for all.
Put your foot up, go ahead. You're supposed to be on the stones, my love. Foot stays on here. Oh no, I guess you're going. Foot there.
And I'm going way up there and ring the bell.
Okay.
If we don't find ways to start talking about structural racism, we're not going to get to where we want to be. And I understand this takes a little bit of thought and analysis, but when again and again you see systems just selecting African American kids or other children of color out, some hard questions need to be asked.
If you look at where we are placing our energies in improving the lives of children, we're talking about low-income, Black and Latino children overwhelmingly. Now, this is a problem when you think that there's a lot of rural white poverty in this state. And I think that is ignored to our great peril. And it's a responsibility to think about how economic inequality goes across racial lines.
The data says there are inequities and racialized outcomes, but not many people have gotten into the conversation about why. And so that's some of what we've been unearthing.
When you have a collaborative, first of all, everybody comes to the table and you're going to eat the same food, so to speak. You look at the situation, you have the information, the data. When something has to be done, we can come together and we know who we can hand a family off to and where they'll get the services.
The collaborative table allows discussion and intentional alignment of community supports. It allows the people who are doing the work to see their role and how it interacts with others, or how it's should, but it's not interacting with others, and then to build those connections.
But what I find most fascinating is the depth and breadth of attention and focus to early childhood in local communities. I mean, that is the thing that I just, every time I come away from a meeting in a community, I think, oh my gosh, we have to figure this out at the state because they've figured it out on the ground. And so how do we take so much of the good work that's going on and support that at the local level, and then try to figure out how we can make that work at the state level as well.
It's hard for me to think of a whole child without thinking about the whole family. And I think that the family is as critical in the development of a child than, a child on his own.
I prefer to see, an image of children and families at the center, and everything else revolves around them.
Healthcare providers are really sort of like our first line of defense. They're the first ones to actually meet the child mostly. They can do their assessments, and when they do their assessments, try and link the families to the services that are out there.
Children don't come in silos. They don't come in pieces. A child is a child, and they have all of the aspects of healthy development are connected. So you can't just, you can't just think about literacy and only about literacy or only about cognitive skills without understanding that in order for a child to be able to learn, We have to think about all aspects of the child or the whole child.
There's been a lot of research to show if you get to kids early, then they'll have less problems later on as they go through school.
They need to be developing language from a very early age. And just that talking and that smiling and that connecting is what's going to help a child feel confident and develop in a healthy manner.
It's a matter of, in the early years, getting to parents and families that which they need to make sure their kids are ready for school and are growing up healthy, as well as with the opportunity to grow up wise.